Hello, all you awesome people out there. Welcome back to the channel with me, your host, Geek Viz Hoove, as always. And today is actually Thursday, July. Thank you, July, July 16th. But when this episode drops, it's gonna be Friday, which means it's time for our video game news of the week. Of course, if you haven't already, check out the TV news and then the movie news that dropped earlier this week. TV news, we talk about our Emmy nominations. I make some half knowledgeable picks on who I think is going to win both primetime and daytime Emmys. And then movie news, we talk about the box office. We talked about how Moana, Supergirl, and the Minions all failed to hit the mark in consecutive weeks of them releasing, so feel free to check that out. But for video game news today, let's talk about what we're going to be talking about here today, because for today's news, we got to talk about more of the Xbox reset hangover. We got an update from id Software and massive layoffs coming from that. Also, a little bit of a new update. ZeniMax, also some leadership for ZeniMax Online Studios, have also exited amidst the layoffs. And then we got ourselves at Obsidian making a brand new Fallout game. It seems like it is true. Also, we've got more layoffs. This coming from Studio 1047. Some good news if you sailing the high seas, thanks to Sony's decision to end physical media. And then we got to talk about some news on Dying Like the Beast. The former Dragon Age writer talks about what the future could be. And then, as always, we gonna end off with some trailers. So that's everything we talking about here today on this episode of News Drop. So if you're interested, let's go ahead and it did work. Let's go ahead and get into these news stories then, shall we, as we transition on over. Starting update, we know that 136 workers have been laid off at id Software. This comes after the reset, of course, from Xbox eliminating over 3,000 jobs across the company. So they were worried that it was happening, but then it seems like it was official once id Software gave this tweet today. A couple days ago. This is a pretty older story. Quote, "Thank you for all the support this week. While our studio was impacted, those changes were spread across teams. We still have the crew we need to build the games and tech we're known for. The team today is about the same size when we were making Doom 2016. We have always had a flat studio where everyone is a maker, and we will remain true to that philosophy moving forward. We are focused on supporting each other and the team members impacted. We're going to keep building the great games and tech that have defined us for the past 35 years, and we're looking forward to seeing you at QuakeCon this August." So this was the second update. They had a warn notice filed in Texas that confirmed that Xbox had laid off 158 people. The document sent to game developer upon request by the Texas Workforce Commission states that 96 of those redundancies are being made at the office of id Software in Richardson, Texas. 40 remote workers reporting into that location have also been let go, indicating 136 roles have been eliminated in total. The remaining 22 layoffs have been made at Bethesda Game Studios office in Austin. Out of those 158 workers being laid off in Texas, 146 are represented by labor unions Commission Workers of America. And yeah, this is the original story. Multiple anonymous sources have told game developers that around 50% of the employees at the Texas-based studio have been laid off. One person claims that equates to over 90 redundancies. Now we of course know that those were more. Another source told game developer the studio's QA department had been decimated by the cuts. One laid-off worker posted publicly on LinkedIn corroborated these claims and expressed anger at the studio being torn apart in a service of another reorganization of assets. It's currently unclear how many, but we already know that. In an internal email obtained by IGN, Bethesda president Jill Braff said the company, which is a sibling studio of id Software and others under ZeniMax, is being restructured around its biggest franchises. Which we already know, they talk about Quake, Doom, all that shit. To quote, to best position Bethesda for future growth, we are shifting from a planning model primarily centered on what's next for each independent studio to one that focuses on our strongest franchises and determining the content roadmap that best serves our players and Bethesda as a whole, reads the email. So yeah, this sucks. If y'all didn't know, they just released that DLC for Doom the Dark Age. Revelations. That DLC, yeah, this just came out. And I think they let him go right before this came out. So they finished up the DLC, got it ready to ship it out, and then laid off a bunch of the staff. So yeah, that sucks. I really did it. I really enjoyed Doom the Dark Age too. It was actually the first of the, actually no, I was gonna say it's the first of the remade Dooms, but no, it's actually my first Doom ever that I ever played front to back, beginning to end, and I really liked it. I know it seems like it's judged as the lesser of the three so far, but that kind of just made me more excited to actually get into the 2016 and the Eternal ones. But they announced this, I was like, I'll play this then. It could kind of be, maybe act as like the final chapter to the Doom the Dark Age before I move on to the other two. But I really did like Doom the Dark Age, and it sucks that they got laid off. I believe id Software is also responsible for the Wolfenstein games as well. And I played those back on the PS4. Love the hell out of them, both of them. New World Order and the New Colossus, I think that's what it was called. I enjoyed both of those games. So I was really liking the things that id Software has been doing. So for them to be hit like this really fucking sucks. Especially considering the fact that of all the studios employed by Xbox, it has actually been cranking out games at a really good pace. Like I mentioned, Doom the Dark Age, Doom Eternal, the two Wolfenstein games, they've been doing really good at cranking out content. While you got like, you know, fucking, you know, the other one, Bethesda, who ain't released the fucking Fallout or Elder Scrolls in forever. Or even like Halo Studios or 343, who have been putting out games, but they ain't been hitting as much as they should be, especially for it to be Halo. So yeah, man, this definitely sucks. You know, a lot of spirits walking out the door. The gaming industry is not in a good place right now, especially for a worker and a developer. Yeah, so that really sucks. But a little bit of an update we got here. ZeniMax Online Studios leadership exits amid Xbox layoffs. You don't know, ZeniMax is actually the parent company of the umbrella ZeniMax, and underneath ZeniMax you have like Bethesda, and I think it is underneath the Bethesda umbrella. So it all scales up, but ZeniMax is at the top. It's the one that kind of houses and where all the other ones kind of start from. It's the you know, it's the trunk of you know, the ZeniMax Bethesda kind of shit. But this is rather new. This is from today, by the way. But Microsoft's latest layoffs include leadership departures at ZeniMax Online Studios, marking big changes for the Elder Scrolls Online developer. According to a new report by Stephen Totilo of GameFile, top executives at ZeniMax Online Studios have had their roles affected as part of the recent restructuring at Xbox. Joe Burba, who had been with the studio for 14 years, was appointed to run it just last July, is leaving. He is departing alongside the executive producer of Elder Scrolls Online, Susan Caff, the studio game director, Rich Lambert, and production designer, Ala Diaz. Holy shit, that's a lot of people wearing some very important hats, especially for an online game, a live service game. Those are some pretty important roles to be leaving. The roles were listed among hundreds that had previously been cut from the studio's Maryland office in a warn letter sent to the state by the developer. The affected executives informed the other employees at the studio that there were plans to transition to new leadership teams consisting of tenured veterans being promoted. As such, they will remain in place during the transition period, which is expected to take place over the next few months, according to the report. Bo the studio. What? Bo the studio will now be run by Josh Henderson, previously head of business operations at the studio, and Nick Giacomini, who was promoted to game director of The Elder Scrolls Online last year. So yeah, man, like I said, that's a lot of important people. The game director, the production director, and an executive producer, and then the damn head of the studio. On July 6th, Xbox announced a major reset to business. Here we know Charmaine also announced that previous Game Pass strategy was unsuccessful. Oh yeah, so that's it. So even more exits, and it sucks when the people let go are people who are like senior members of the staff who really know how this shit works. Again, it's easy to forget that for them this shit is a job, and it's like this is a lot of corporate shit. Again, I equate this to like my 9-to-5 job. We just had a few months ago we just had a shakeup. Actually, my perception at the time is so fucked up. It might have been a year or over a year at this point, but basically our store manager had departed, and when they left, we also were missing a lot of managers on duty, MODs, who are like the step under the store director. And then the last one again with the experience and knew how the store was ran. He knew the staff. He knew how the staff worked. He knew the workflow. He knew who would need help, who wouldn't need help, and he already had the experience of how the store worked. And he tried to move up, and they wouldn't let him, so he left. So we got this whole influx of all these new people. The new store manager, they didn't know what the hell they was doing or what the fuck was going on, and then they in turn trained these new managers to come in, and they teach them what they know, which is virtually nothing. And now basically the whole store is just in a real slump right now because the leadership is doing a terrible fucking job. And none of them go watch this video, so I don't really give a fuck about saying it. I don't really give a fuck about saying it. And even if they did, I said what I said. They gonna tell me that it's better? Yeah, okay, sure. But yeah, man, it really fucking sucks that all these layoffs, especially from such a great 35 years they've been doing this. And you might have a lot of experience just walking out the door. That really sucks. But continuing on the Xbox reset shit, Obsidian cancels Avowed sequel to begin work on the new Fallout game. Obsidian Entertainment is developing a new Fallout game, according to a report by Bloomberg. The report also states that the studio has canceled several in-development projects, including a planned sequel to its 2025 RPG Avowed. The ongoing layoffs have reportedly impacted 25% of Obsidian staff, including a longtime art director, Daniel Alpert. Bloomberg reports that as part of Xbox's new initiative, they're going to be focused on big franchises. Obsidian's development pipeline shifted toward developing a new Fallout game, with studio design director John Sawyer at the helm. Obsidian has worked in this universe before, having previously made 2010's well-received Fallout New Vegas. They had been working on Avowed 2, which was said to be going well and on track to be announced within the next year. However, the sequel did not fit into Asher Sharma's new strategy. Although the project is effectively shelved, Bloomberg states that some employees will continue working on it as the new Fallout game comes together in hopes of a potential revival. Avowed was one of 3 games Obsidian released last year, along with Grounded 2 and Outer Worlds 2. As we know, Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 did both underperformed, even though they both reviewed pretty well. Obsidian will continue working on Grounded 2 and DLC for the Outer Worlds 2. So this is very interesting. And one thing I've been seeing is the fact that it seems like fucking Bethesda, Todd Howard and them, effectively have just had Fallout taken away from them and basically given to the little brother. Because if you think about it, Obsidian has just been making. Obsidian did end up just making two other Fallout games after New Vegas, both the Outer Worlds. It's just basically Fallout in space. With more of a more of a focus on dunking on corporations and shit. So they do have the experience. But yeah, it seems like Bethesda was taking too long. We still haven't seen anything from Elder Scrolls 6 that they announced, I don't know, a damn decade ago or something. I don't know. And then we haven't seen a Fallout game since Fallout 76. And who the fuck still fuck with Fallout 76? Actually, you know what? We're gonna do what every motherfucker on Twitter does nowadays. We're gonna go to SteamDB and figure it out. Checking my browser, bro. What the fuck? Alright, let's see. Damn, there's still about 6,000 to 7,000 people still playing this shit. God damn. It's going through peaks. It's going through peaks and valleys. I mean, at the most you're looking at about 9, but at the least you're looking at about 3. God damn, what happened right here? Today, oh, maybe it's just because it's today. 929 people. Well, that was like the fucking morning. Okay, maybe I'll stand corrected. There's still a dedicated amount of people still playing this shit. That's crazy. All right, I stand corrected. Apparently, there's about a good almost 7,000 people still playing this goddamn game. But still, no single player since Fallout 4. Yes, it's Fallout 4. So it's interesting that, you know, Asha basically came in and was like, y'all motherfuckers taking too long. we gonna need a fucking Elder Scrolls, and we're also gonna need a Fallout. If y'all taking this damn low with Elder Scrolls, then we gonna give Fallout to somebody who can actually put it out in a good amount of time and make it work. Was Fallout New Vegas broken when it came out too? Did it have that Bethesda jank on it? Don't say talk Wrangler, bitch. Yeah, a lot of technical issues. So did have that Bethesda jank on it. So there you go. So, and I said this before, but I was like, it seems like they're going to be rushed. Bethesda's going to be rushed to get out more games in a better period and window of time, which could mean that Bethesda jank going to be heavy and still present, and it might be still true even with Obsidian. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think anybody's gonna be. I don't think anybody's gonna be disappointed that Avowed 2 is shelved. I played like the first 40 minutes of it or something, maybe an hour. And I stopped, and I had no desire to go back and play at all since I played it that first time. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, man. So there you go. Hopefully they do all right. I do like Obsidian. I enjoyed the hell out of the Outer Worlds. I was really enjoying Outer Worlds 2. Unfortunately, I had to pause it because other things kind of came in, and I was like, I gotta get to these other games. Very high praise for some games. What was it? I forget. Something came out, and I was like, I gotta pause this and go play that. I think maybe it was Pragmata, which I still ain't fucking beat, by the way. But there you go. More of that Xbox Fallout is still present. We're still dealing with it. But Fallout was just given to Obsidian. So any Fallout New Vegas fans, you might be happy to see that you're going to get another crack at an Obsidian Fallout game. Man, what do you think Todd Howard feels about this? Because yeah, Bethesda have been dragging the shit out of their feet. You know, we got Starfield, but Starfield didn't hit the mark. And they've been taking a sweet ass time since So, hey, like I said, Xbox needs their money. All right, but in more positive corporate greed news, how Ubisoft Barcelona created Ubisoft's best work in years, only to be rewarded by being laid off. Ubisoft Barcelona continues to protest with strikes after 51 of the studio's developers were announced as being impacted by layoffs in June, just days after their content for Black Flag Resync was complete. That's dirty. Let them finish it up and then got rid of them as soon as they was done. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync is understood to be one of Ubi's biggest releases in years, outpacing other big releases like Shadows and Star Wars. Despite Black Flag Resync's success, though, 51 developers at Ubisoft Barcelona, many of whom worked on the game, are facing layoffs. The news was first announced in June, with Ubisoft said to be deciding to turn Ubisoft Barcelona into a Rainbow Six studio. Damn, they're like, we don't want to do that shit. We don't want to do that shit. We know y'all. Oh, god damn it. My fucking headphones are just like fucked up. It is annoying. I paid so much for this. And now they fucking breaking apart. And these are the same ones I do my fucking sound recording with too. I gotta buy some this. I gotta buy some this. Alright, but back to, oh my god. But back to business. Mantel Coda, a technical and gameplay animator at Barcelona, recently had his tweet go viral after announcing that the Barcelona team was responsible for the underwater levels of Resync, which have been praised since release as being one of the game's best features. But to be honest, Coda's tweet doesn't quite give enough credit to what Ubisoft Barcelona managed to achieve with Resync with such a small team. Documents were sent to the Insider Gaming Consent. So this is everything they actually did. They did all the swimming system, all the underwater stuff, the mechanics, the biomes, animal behavior, all the underwater bricks, all the smugglers den. They did 13 main naval quests, proper defense, diving for medicines, and devil's advocate, 15 side quests, naval contracts, 4 assassin's contracts, the region of Gibara with its locations Crooked Island, Salt Lagoon, and Marijuana Island, and all bosses divided with Quebec once they entered the production, and all enemy combat AI until Quebec entered the production. So they did do a lot. They pretty much handled like all the fucking water shit, it seems like. All of the underwater stuff, a lot of the naval stuff. So it seems like they did a lot. They did a lot for this game, and and some of the best stuff from this game they were responsible for. Just to in turn get fucking laid off and made to work on fucking Rainbow Six Siege. Despite the game's success and all that Ubisoft Barcelona contributed, though, everyone will soon be laid off. But everyone tells me that not only will those who worked on the game lose their job, but Ubisoft is still rubbing salt in the wound by offering the bare minimum in severance compensation. Ubisoft, you dirty bitch. Spanish law requires a minimum severance of 20 days pay per year worked at the company. So like if you work there for like so if you work there for like 100 days, you get like you're like 200 days worth of back pay, which I'm sure it is, because I'm pretty sure we're talking about people who've probably worked here for like years. And according to sources, Ubisoft is currently only offering 25 days. Like 25 days overall. Like nothing to reflect how long you've actually been there too. Oh, my dumbass. I said 100 days. It's 20 days of pay per year. So if you've been there a year, you get 20 days. And they're offering 25 at the most. So if you've worked there for over a year, you got more days coming. If you worked there for, 5 years, that's when you get. That's when you get it. There we go. There we go. Oh shit. That's where you get, the 90 days. So yeah, that fucking sucks. Sources say it's common in the industry for companies to offer between 35 to 45 days of severance pay per year worked. Severance days. And because Black Flag Reseek is by all accounts a success, many thanks in part of Barcelona's involvement, employees feel entitled to a fair severance package. I fucking agree. Hey, if we made this game and this game was a success, it wasn't our game, but we did a lot of heavy lifting, and clearly from the reviews and shit, some of the best parts of the game were the things we directly did, the things we are directly responsible for, and we get rewarded with being fucking laid off. That's bullshit. They'll be striking again. They're striking again today. It encourages fans of the game to join them in support. Hey, I don't play the games, but you got mine. Cause you know we always on some fuck Ubisoft shit over here. And once again, it's, by the way, something Ubisoft at this point does not fucking need. They already have a shitty reputation. We already knew, people already know how shit of a job Ubisoft has been doing over the years, and you make it worse by doing shit like this. These motherfuckers just can't do shit right. They just can't get right. That's who the fuck they is. Can't get right from life. Can't get right. They this nigga right here. They can't get right. These niggas just can't do nothing right. Can't do nothing well. Always gonna be negative. Niggas just can't get right. Over here at Ubisoft, man. What the fuck? Alright, but yeah, there you go. There is our biggest news. So let's kind of cover some of this other stuff real quick here. This is probably the quickest episode we've done of these new way. Alright, the creators of Splitgate and Impulse have laid off employees. Studio 1047 Games is once again hit by a wave of layoffs just a few weeks after the team shooter Impulse launched in early access. The exact numbers of the employees affected by the layoffs is still unclear. 1047 Games has not publicly announced the layoffs, but former studio employees reported them on LinkedIn. The publication was noted by Insider Gaming. It is reported that among those who lost their jobs are the technical lead sound designer, an assistant producer, and several artists. So yeah, if y'all don't know, 1047 Games has been like on a big ass string of L's as of late. They're the same teams who did Splitgate and Splitgate 2. If y'all know, when Splitgate 2 came out, the fucking CEO got on stage. I think it was at the Summer Games Fest. He got on stage, he shitted on he shitted on his peers, talking about, oh nigga, Splitgate is the best game in the FPS shooter right now, so fuck Call of Duty and fuck all that other shit, nigga. Come fuck with us over here. And he wore that dumbass MAGA parody hat both of those combined just pissed everybody off. The game did not get good press. And when it launched terribly. It did not have the player base they were looking for. It was so bad, these niggas had to go back, put it back in fucking put it back in alpha after they had already released it. Take it offline, put it back in alpha, and work on it again. Then it came out as, what the fuck is that shit called? Splitgate Arena? Splitgate Arena Reloaded. That's what it's called. Then they came out with this shit. They was like, all right, here it is. It's like Splitgate 1 and 2 mixed together. So if you like Splitgate 2, we pretty much took everything you might have liked about Splitgate 2. We took it out. But here you go. And that game also bombed pretty goddamn hard. SteamDB watches. God damn! This shit only got 200 players on that bitch right now. Golly. So yeah, so then it launched that. That didn't take off. And I feel like with the combined efforts of Arena Reloaded failing again, and then there's also a leak, and it forced them to announce this game kind of early. which I think also kind of forced them to put it into like early access, early. That's just me saying that. I ain't got no sources. I ain't got none. That's just kind of my theory, a game theory. But now they have Impulse, which is like a movement shooter. It's like a Titanfall movement shooter kind of thing. This also ain't taking off. So unfortunately, that's like 3 straight L's. 4 if you count the first Splitgate. But yeah, it's the 1047, and now they have Layoffs again. This is like their second or third time. And yeah, I don't know, man. 1047 games, it might just be time to pack it up, man. It might just be time to pack it up, and go ahead and go about your business and vanish into obscurity. I'm sorry. PlayStation might be starting to panic as PS5 emulator shown booting up Astro Bot. PlayStation has been making a lot of controversy, some may say anti-consumer decisions in 2026, and it seems being loud isn't going to change that. The still young PS5 emulator has made it in a short time, likely as PlayStation worried. Emulation hasn't typically been something PlayStation has been worried about. PlayStation games can be emulated, but people typically stick to the older titles that aren't compatible with modern consoles. Now, work to emulate PS5 games on PC, thanks to the recent controversial decision, has begun, and it's progressing quickly. As I said, Sony is in full panic mode right now. Oh shit, okay. A Discord user named R. Santila has reportedly managed to boot Astro Bot on PC using Sharp Emu, a PS5 emulator for Windows PC. Astro Bot is a 2024 PS5 exclusive, so seeing it even boot up on a PC is huge. PS5 emulation development is moving crazy fast. Yeah, I believe emulation really isn't done until the company it's basically done with the life cycle of a console and it receives no more updates, so people can now crack the console, and nothing will be flagged by Sony or Microsoft or anything because they're already done with that console. That's why emulation right now is for a lot of older consoles, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, the original Xbox, all those consoles that have sort of been now left in the wayside and no longer supported. They usually get emulation, but you don't see it for a game that is still currently living its life cycle right now. So it's kind of crazy. And yeah, it seems like a lot of this has to do with the fact that with them saying that there's not going to be any more physical releases, well, now you can now probably get more PlayStation 5 exclusives on your PC through emulation. Of course, if they get it to work and get it to work consistently well. So hey, this is the shit I'm talking about. This shit you love to see. This is the shit that gotta happen if like I said, we gotta get in Sony's motherfucking pockets if we really want them to change. Not a tweet, not a petition, none of that shit. The shit that matters is their numbers and their bottom line, and this will help. Next up, Techland cancels the PS4 and Xbox One versions of Dying Light the Beast. This came out last September for current gen consoles and PC. They plan to bring the game to PS4 and Xbox One. Unfortunately for players of those platforms, those plans have been axed. The developer posted on Twitter saying that it will no longer bring Dying Light the Beast to last gen due to technical issues getting the game to run well on older hardware. They said, quote, Dying Light the Beast was built from the ground up to take full advantage of current generation hardware. Its open world, advanced visuals, and fluid combat and traversal all depend on its processing power and memory that previous generation consoles simply cannot provide. As development progressed, it became clear that bringing the game to those platforms will require compromises that will prevent us from delivering the experience we set out to create. Basically saying the last gen consoles are kind of pieces of shit. We can't get the game to actually work and run on them, so we moving on. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. All right, and this one is sad boy news for me. Former Dragon Age writer doesn't see a future for the franchise at EA, and I gotta say, I kind of agree. Former Dragon Age lead writer David Gator doesn't believe there's much of a future for the franchise he helped create. Gator worked on several Dragon Age titles. He was attached to the project until 2014 and served as lead writer for Inquisition. Since then, the series has continued, with the most recent edition being Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Now he's explaining why he doesn't believe the series has much of a future at EA. This is Gator's quote: "From Electronic Arts, unlikely. Throughout the entire time I was there, we were always one breath away from the project being shelved. The thing that happened is what we kept releasing games, and it would sell much better than they thought it should, and it kept surprising them." Quote: "If out of some wild alignment of the stars, somebody handed the Dragon Age franchise back to me and said, 'Breathe the life back into this baby,' it'd be a tough one, but I think that'd be an interesting thing to do. To go back to the basics of what made Dragon Age appeal to so many people in the first place, and go somewhere dark and dangerous and do things that would make people upset. I think that's what I would do if what I would want to do. Man, I would say, please, if anything, please, EA, give the man the franchise, please. Y'all know I love Dragon Age, but Dragon Age has had a little bit of a rough span. Like Veilguard and 2 were pretty sloppy. 1 is still, to me, the best in the franchise, but it has not stood the test of time. It's still a rough game to play through. And then Inquisition was good, but it did have a lot of faults in there as well. And yeah, man, I remember when they were talking about like why Veilguard kind of failed and why it was an issue. One of the things they mentioned was the fact that Dragon Age and the Dragon Age team were always kind of viewed as like the little brother to the Mass Effect team. They put more faith in Mass Effect and like that more than it did Dragon Age. And you know, I love both, but if I had to pick one, I'm picking Mass Effect, clearly. But I do really enjoy Dragon Age, and I loved it. I still stand by the fact, as a motherfucker who actually played the game twice, Veilguard is not as bad as a lot of people made it up to be. Was it great? No. Was it like the worst piece of media I ever had the displeasure of experiencing? Hell no. That still belongs to Morbius. That's, you know, it might belong to Madam Web. At least Morbius, you could laugh at how bad it was. Madam Web was just fucking boring. Yeah, that's fucking Madam Web. And again, it's one of the things about the internet. Context is such a thing that's missing. They had to reboot this fucking game 3 times. They wanted to make what they wanted to make it first, but then EA stepped in and said, "Motherfucker, we want a live service game." They said, "Didn't y'all just try that? Didn't the fucking Mass Effect team try to make Anthem and that shit fail?" They said, "So the fuck what? We need another one. Try again, motherfucker." And then they went ahead and they were making the game as a fucking live service game. And then a lot of the shortcomings of live service shit came up, and then they came back and said, "Hey, y'all know what? Let's not do a live service game. Go back to whatever y'all was doing originally." But the game still got to come out in, you know, I don't know, fucking fourth quarter 2024, whatever, fuck ever. And it was like, God damn it, fine. So they had to take a bunch of shit they had from being live service and mix it with a bunch of this shit to make it single player, which has made it this weird ass amalgamation of a game. Which I think is the biggest fault of the game. But for them to still make it as well as it was when it came out, despite all that shit, it was still a pretty good game. But yeah, unfortunately, this does make me sad, and I agree with it too. Remember, EA has already said that they're kind of shifting focus, and they're pretty much just go focus on any game that can be monetized. If it can't be monetized, then they probably ain't fucking with it at all. Which kind of has me worried for Mass Effect. But I feel like that one was already. I'm hoping that one was already so far down the pipeline that they just had to stick with it and just go, all right, we'll stay with it. And apparently they do like Mass Effect. Mass Effect is like, you know what it is? It's the fact that Mass Effect is damn near a ball and gun adjacent game. It's close enough. It does have guns in it. And I feel like they could appeal to that crowd more than Dragon Age could. You know, a fucking swords and sorcery game. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got for our news stories. Again, that's in the wake of all the Xbox shit. News is a little light, a little slow, but that's fine. So we go back here, and now it is time for some trailers, baby. We had quite a bit. We're gonna start things off with Marvel Token Fighting Souls. This is the open beta trailer, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm completely ass at fighting games, but I ain't gonna lie, we might get on this. I might get on
You're
this.
a waste, Magneto.
Logan, can we not refrain from this mutant versus mutant violence? Time to fight. Join me in my brotherhood.
I've got a counteroffer. How about you get stuffed? Activating anti-Omega protocol.
We're just getting started. Let's kick it into high gear.
Is that everybody? Every announced character?
Entertainment. This is entertainment.
Here we go.
Booyah! You're not getting away. Leave the rest to me. By the goddess!
You have a team, but it doesn't mean you're ready for the competition. Welcome to the danger room!
If I play this, I will be in there quite a bit.
Our time is now!
Impossible. Who's ready for
Online casual and ranked online.
That
Okay,
must
cool.
have hurt. Yeah, woohoo! Oh no.
Are we in space?
You need a sparring partner. I do need a team, and fast.
I can do this! I swear! This is gonna be fun!
To fight is to live. Only the best in my tournament. Guys,
I ain't gonna lie,
it's
that's a lot for a beta. That's quite a bit for a beta. You have to play a little bit of the story, the training simulation, online, offline mode as well, online, casual, and ranked online mode. That's quite a bit. Pretty much every character they've announced, it seems like it's gonna be here. It's at 15. Maths, the thing I'm so great at. It's 15 playable characters. They've announced 5 teams. It's it's the X-Men, the Avengers, the Guardians, the Knights of Doom, and then the Samurai Outriders, right? That's who everybody is. I think every team has 4. So no, it's not everybody. No, it is everybody. Yeah, no, it's not everybody. It's not everybody. There's a team that's not going to be in it. So there's going to be a couple characters not in it. But that's really cool. Actually, shit. Well, my phone's over there. Will I be camping that weekend? When is that anyway? 24th and 25th. No, I won't. I could get on this. That's next weekend. Okay, cool. All right, next up we got The Mound, Omen of Cthulhu. The expedition begins today. The Mound of Cthulhu is available now on the PS5, Xbox, and PC. A 4-player co-op Lovecraftian horror game. In The Mound, Omen of Cthulhu, you must hunt for legendary treasures and survive as madness quickly distorts your reality. With no UI indicators to warn you, you will have to rely entirely on your teammates to know what is real and what is a trick of your unraveling mind.
Round and round the silent moon, where the ancient ones are born. Do not whisper, do not weep, nor you wake him from his sleep.
of nothing in this damn trailer.
Bringing down.
All right, well, there you go. The Omen, Bound of Cthulhu. Not for me, but hey, I'm pretty sure, you know, get on stream, play it with your friends. Up next is Grim Trials, the release date. Prove your worth, hack, and blast your way through the Grim Trials. Explore the afterlife of the Academy, a training ground for aspiring Grim Reapers. Befriend fellow Reapers, learn from your mentors, and discover the truths of your life and love before your death.
First big win. How did it feel?
Okay, little great value
Exhausting, but worth it. I'm one step closer to getting home. He's waiting for me.
Not the answer I expected.
I'm truly dead, aren't I? Is this
Boy, I
heaven?
thought I was finna get up.
It's the trial.
Boy, I thought. Boy, for a split second, I thought I was gonna get it. I thought this motherfucking video was gonna get taken down. I was like, what the
Right. You were chosen. It's not a punishment. It's a calling into a new age. There are 3 doors which lead to the weapon room, the tailor room, and the potion room. In each room, you shall find a mentor who will guide you.
Oh, didn't you hear what I said earlier? You'll craft your own gears with my help.
Okay. John, I'll look behind someone important. Someone I love. I will be able to go back after my trial, right?
Time for chit-chat. Trust in the process.
art style's pretty cool.
You never know when the Reaper. Oh, I guess you do.
August 20th, if you're interested, it comes out. Next up, Dusk Fade. Pre-order trailer. Watch the trailer, look at the games that big boss. Okay, whatever. Also, 3D action. Got the fucking Eternal Lights. Looks like I got that Keyblade. Up next, Denshin Attack. Oh, this game just came out yesterday. What the fuck? You piloted a fucking drone by driving a damn plane. pretty damn cool. Kickflip, grind, and drift your way through a vibrant, shell-shaded Japan in this high-speed trip-based action adventure. Master over 60 handcrafted levels, take on outrageous boss battles, discover hidden collectibles, and chain together huge combos as you become the ultimate rail rider. I think this is on Game Pass. Yeah, Game Pass is on Game Pass too. So if you're interested, you can check it out. I feel like I went ahead. I thought this was like the second to last one. Ah, that makes sense. What the fuck? What? Hold on. I swear this was like second to last. No, it's before being weird. All right, next up, Ghost Vanguard, the demo showcase, something or other. A roguelike meets beat 'em up. I like the 3D characters against like the 2D background. Saying it's difficult. Oh, hey, it's a demo. Demo's available. I fucking love me some demos. Just try that out. Get another look at gameplay from both Vanguard. It's an upcoming beat 'em up game that combines stylish actions with roguelike elements. Grab your sword and step into treacherous, evil dungeons using stylish and magnificent combos to defeat the sinister forces from the darkness and reclaim the hero's stolen soul. It's available on PC. An updated demo is now on Steam. So if you're on PC and Steam, check out the demo. If this looks interesting to you. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my list, so I'm just gonna click in it manually. Virtual Fighter Crossroads, a versus. Sound effects in this bitch. Damn! He hit that nigga with the with the hidden blade. Nigga, what the fuck? Nigga, did I get Will Ospreay to work on this game? That was cool. So it's like I don't know. It's like because he did it before old boy's head, and he did it right here with his torso. So can you put enough damage on a certain body part that it makes it vulnerable or something? Now it's on his legs. I don't know, maybe they get a penalty for whatever body part it is or something. Round and round. Oh damn! This fucking Will Ospreay, ain't that a finisher of his too? Hold on, God, hold the fuck on. the wrestling fan in me just woke the fuck up. Hold on. Hold on, we gotta just see something. Finisher. Doesn't he do the thing where he like lifts him up in the Storm Driver? Ain't that what it's called?
Adjusting that elbow.
The hidden, yeah. So see, this is the hidden blade. When he hits him across the
Judging
back.
that
Yeah,
elbow
that.
pad, whatever you want to call it.
And then this.
Jericho's up. Oscar has him.
That was what he just did. Hold, nigga, this nigga's. Has he announced it yet? Will Ospreay. Virtual fight. Has he announced that already? From the character Wolf Hawkfield. Okay, he didn't do like mocap, but they put the move in there. Okay. I'm like, I know this shit. The fucking wrestling fan in me peeked up real quick for that. Which is actually kind of funny I say that, because I don't know if y'all noticed, but I've been taking them. I have not been falling asleep during some of this. I've been taking long blinks like y'all fuck ass president, just long blinks. Hey bro, I just got off of work, nigga. And this fan feel real nice right now. Promise it had nothing to do with the quality of anything I'm watching. All right. Again, I'm not a big fighting game guy, but this looks cool. It has a story in it, which does get me interested. But I mean, hey, you never know what could happen. I never thought I'd be a fucking 2K nigga, but once they put my career and a story in that bitch, and all of a sudden I'm a 2K fan. Especially when Marvel Token comes out too, that could definitely change my perception on shit too. I might be on that bill fucking heavy. See, let's skip this. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But we got some Beast of Reincarnation, some combat overview going on here. Oddly enough, fucking GameStop's YouTube channel. Fucking can't bother putting that shit in 4K. I ain't surprised.
Beast of Reincarnation. 2 characters, 1 battle. Beast of Reincarnation is a unique action RPG combining intense real-time combat with deliberate strategy. Today, we're showing you exactly how combat works, from single enemies to colossal boss encounters. Let's begin. The enemy has 2 main gauges. The top bar represents their health. Wipe it out to take them down. The bottom bar is the down gauge. Fill it completely to create an opening for a final takedown. When taking on an enemy, parrying their attack is key. If you time it just right, you won't take on any damage.
That good old parry slot.
Each time you parry an attack, the FP gauge in the lower right corner of the screen fills up. Parries restore your FP, which is the source of Ku's power. Once your FP is full, select Bloom Art. Time slows down while you're making a selection, allowing you to carefully consider your choice. When a special attack is successfully executed, the enemy's stun gauge fills up significantly. This gives us the ability
It's also like the
of a one-hit finish.
The mana you gotta manage in the
Next
Final
up
Fantasy VII
is a
remake.
team battle. Even when surrounded by enemies, what we have to do remains the same. Here, we select Higanbana, Roots, a technique that can restrain up to 3 targets simultaneously. The enemy's movements have stopped. Ku initiates the attack, and Emma finishes them off. This coordination between the 2 of them is fundamental to team battles.
What the dog do? Giannis, why did you
Each area
leave?
features a powerful boss enemy. These enemies are huge, and their
Bring
attacks
him back!
are powerful. Even their heavy blows can be deflected if the timing is right. When facing tough opponents, the slow motion when selecting a special move becomes especially important. By observing the enemy's preparatory movements, you can predict their next action. The FP is full. What should you choose now? You can deal damage by exploiting their weakness. Can you cancel a big move with Binding Roots? Should we try to corner them with status effects? Let's
This
use
definitely does
a
remind me a
Bloom
little bit
Art.
of
And
the
just
Final
like that,
Fantasy VII remake.
defeated. Once a boss is defeated, Emma absorbs its power, and a new Bloom Art is awakened within Ku. By using the SP earned during their adventures, you can also learn new techniques for Emma from the skill tree.
Deep skill roots.
As your skills increase, the range of follow-up attacks will broaden. New area. The enemies will be tougher. This time, you'll be using the new technique, Sakura, Javelin, that you obtained from defeating the previous boss. After upgrading in the skill tree, Emma finishes them off with her new earned ability, Helm Splitter. Will you stop the enemy with binding roots? Or will you charge in yourself with a Sakura Javelin? The thrill of real-time action meets the tactical depth of command-based selections in a single seamless combat system. As the skill tree expands,
Oh shit, there's more
endless
attack too.
combinations and
That's
opportunities
for
for
the wolf. The wolf.
experimentation
Okay.
unlock. Find the
Look like you-
synergy
you-
that
you
suits
look like you might be able to go
and
crazy
build
on the
your
build.
ideal playstyle. From developer Game Freak, Beast of Reincarnation launches August 4th. Pre-order now and get a special bonus.
Fuck,
Wishlist
August,
today.
God damn it. Damn, that's so fucking long. That's that busy time, bro. Damn, I forgot about that. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, for our last one, I don't know. This is being a bitch about it. Like I said, shit ain't in order, but this is what we have for our last one. Brand new Wolverine trailer just dropped, y'all. Brand new Wolverine, 4K. You know I'm playing this shit right here.
I've lived long enough. It's all started to blur together. Every fight. Every death.
Y'all seen the logo? Trash.
I'm trying to hold on.
Sabretooth.
I can feel it
Sabretooth's design.
slipping away.
Oh shit, is that Lady Deathstrike? It is.
Who I am. Who I was. When that's gone, there won't be anything left except rage.
You could tell that's the TV spot trailer because there was no blood in that shit. This is a trailer that's gonna play on TV. The little shortened version gonna play on TV. You can tell there was no blood. And they were not afraid to show that shit in the gameplay trailer. Okay, and we got a confirmation that fucking Lady Deathstrike is in this now too.
Who I was. When that's gone, there won't.
It was good too. Like how I like how they didn't go too crazy on the claws, as you can see with her sometimes. That's cool. Anyway, yeah, nice little Wolverine cinematic trailer. Yes, but there you go. But yes, well that is the end of our trailers and our news review. That is the end of this episode of News Drop. Thank you all so much for watching. I do indeed very much do appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think what do you think the future has for id Software? Do you think Obsidian could be doing a Fallout New Vegas 2? Do you think they'll be going somewhere else, somewhere new? We get a new entry in the Fallout series. What do you think about Barcelona and their strikes against Ubisoft? Let me know about all that shit down in the comments below. Let me know if you can allegedly run that Astro Bot on a PC. Let me know down below. Anyway, that's it for me here today. Thank you all so much for watching. I very much do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good old YouTube bullshit. Help a brother out. Very small, unknown channel, just kind of existing here on YouTube right now. So if you feel obliged, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me anything down below. It's very much appreciated. But until next time, everybody, always remember, stay watching, stay playing, stay awesome, and of course, most importantly, Stay safe out there. Until next time, everybody, I'll talk to you all later. Deuces.